guys. Welcome to Straight to the Point. This is Lori. We're with Melody, Robin, and Leslie. And today we're going to talk about the New Zealand shooter, you know, the psycho that went all crazy and deranged on the mosque. And allegedly or whatever, but yeah, he did. So, what do we have to say about that, ladies? Let's just dive
Well,
right
I think
into
it was hilarious how the first day everybody posted on it, everybody showed their information, and oh, crazy, 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 white supremacists, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day, oh, this was just revenge for what the Muslims did to an 11-year-old girl 2 years prior.
Jumping on the bandwagon like most liberal news stations. Now, believe me, we're not saying that we agree with what he did because he was a nutcase, that's for sure.
But I like all my facts, too.
Yeah, I'd like to know the facts before I jump into conclusions and jumping on this and that like most of the liberal Democrats do. This young man, well, I guess he wasn't too young, but anyway, he ended up going on his rampage in a revenge over an 11-year-old little deaf girl that was killed in a terror attack.
Yeah.
That's the whole reasoning behind his platform, so to speak, to go out and do what he did.
He left that letter intentionally, so in case he got killed, no one would think other than why he really did.
Right, and first
exactly.
thing he does is, what do? Very first thing they do is go jump on the bandwagon. It's all Trump's fault.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't condone the violence and what he did, but let me ask you, ladies, if Muslims were taking over your country, let's ask you, if they were taking over your country and killing your innocent children, what would you do? You would have to ask yourself, really, what would you do?
Right. I think people this guy, he put his aim on the refugees, so to speak, and that, I think, when you stop and you think, what takes a person to that point to drive them to that?
Exactly.
What is their thinking? I know in America here, there is so much liberal garbage that's shoved down your throats. You can't wear a MAGA hat outside. You can't support your president without, Antifa, BAM, a few of the other ones. I mean, you can't support your president
Just
any way,
liberal,
shape. It's
just the liberal, progressive left. Period.
And you're attacked, whether verbally or physically. I mean, you are completely attacked.
Well, people were saying that all over when it happened, and they were just nonstop going, "How do you know?
Exactly.
Maybe he did it.
He did it a different reason, and that's exactly.
And everybody started thinking.
What they
then
did.
The letter came out.
And I will tell you that a few of us, I don't know, did all of us, I know me and Robin watched a couple of the actual video clips before they were taken down.
I did not.
I still have it.
Did you see it, Melanie?
I saw one that was, I guess it was a partial.
Now,
I tried, but they had already taken it
I know,
down.
I know that, that Facebook and Twitter and, YouTube, a lot of the social media platforms, they worked hard with taking, that down. But, I've talked to my husband. I've talked to,
down, though.
Well, agreed, but here's the double standard. Yet we still see Christians being beheaded by Muslims.
Yep.
Right.
We still see graphic pictures.
144,000 since January. Christians have been slaughtered in Nigeria and around the world.
This is the thing.
Where's
Well,
the outcry for
they
that?
showed open graves.
There's
Yes.
the double standard.
And
There's a lady who set the
Where's
school
the
on
media?
fire.
Yes. Where's the media?
well, here's what I'm wondering, ladies. What if this is just something that I thought about the other day, and I know a lot of people, even we depend on live streaming.
Sure.
But I mean, we could also do videos posted on YouTube later. It's not something that we just have to have a live stream. We could do a video.
Right.
But what if they took the live streaming away? What if they took that capability away to where the shock and awe would be gone?
Then it wouldn't be a showcase.
I would
anymore.
totally be okay with that.
Right.
I don't know how everybody else feels about that, but for me, I would be okay because you know what? They have a card. They have like I forget what it's called. I have a stepson that he's into web developing and he knows all of this AI stuff, and he said that there is a program that you can get, and with one click, and I have a feeling that's probably what this guy used, because he had a GoPro on his helmet. You can actually see it in a still photo where they arrested him and they caught up with him. He had that camera right here. And with a click of a button, it literally sends it out, live streaming to all of the social media platforms. And so you're immediately, anybody that's following this guy or anything like that, it sends out a notification.
I'm actually waiting because it was a GoPro, and since it was a GoPro, that's not ending. So GoPros keep going.
Right.
I'm waiting to find out the real reason. This man did not kill himself or allowed to be killed. He did it in a way where he was caught. Just let them catch me.
Right.
And the thing is, he was so, it literally, I tell you something, for the ones that didn't see this, I literally thought when I was watching this, I thought I was watching like Call of Duty. In a 3D form. It was like, I was sitting there and I was literally going, what the hell am I watching right now?
Right.
Because this guy was just mowing people down with whatever,
Guns they were.
vehicle,
Not
vehicle, but
He started out with a shotgun and then he dropped it as he went in.
Right, whatever,
an automatic.
semi-automatic he had. It wasn't I don't think they have full automatics down there in New Zealand.
don't know.
They have semi-automatics, but whatever kind of, rifle he had, he was literally just mowing them down, and then it looked like in the video clip I saw, he went back in and he was shooting them again.
The second video that I had, he ended up going back in and he shot them all again, even though they were already dead.
Yeah, and then there was a lady on the street, and she was begging for he
shot her, and then she
walked
begged,
up to her,
and he shot her again.
Yeah, and then he just drove his car over her, and I'm like, oh my God, seriously. I mean, I was just like literally shocked. I had to sit there and I had to literally take it all in. It was almost too much for me to.
He even wrote the names on all his clips.
Yes,
all of his equipment and everything
down to detail.
Oh yeah.
He definitely
and
had
we
this planned
we
out.
do not advocate for anyone to read that manifesto by any means, because it is just his deranged thinking and thoughts that is within that. And speaking of that, let's
but
get
they
in.
jumped on it.
True empathy.
Well, of course they did.
But who jumped on it? Go for it.
But and the reason we say that is because let's think about this. He mentions our president, President Trump,
Candace Owens.
And he mentions, and he mentions Candace Owens in that. And I mean, it's like first of all, President Trump sends out his thoughts and his prayers to New Zealand and to the Prime Minister, which is Jacinda Ardern. And then they asked President Trump, which that's really all, in our opinion, that's really all he would have had to have done.
Sure.
Yeah.
This wasn't his country.
Right.
Right. This wasn't, he sent his condolences like pretty much any other president or leader of country had to have done. But the fact that this deranged jackwagon crazy person put his name in there, they wanted to go a little further because it's President Trump.
That's right.
Of course, they need
So they asked him, do you think the growing trend of white supremacy is a problem? And he said, and I quote, and I'm not going to quote this incorrectly like Yahoo News and a lot of these others have been doing. He said, I don't really. I think it's a small group of people that have very, very serious problems, I guess. That's what he says. Now, I personally don't have a problem with him saying that.
Nope.
But the problem that they have is he didn't say white supremacists. He didn't name them particularly. He shouldn't have to. This didn't happen here. This happened in New Zealand.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, he's giving his, and the other thing, he's not there. It's not, he's not the leader of that country.
Right.
He doesn't know everything that's going on in that country. So why I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, hell does he need to voice his opinion or say something that he does not have privy information to?
And you know what?
Exactly.
It's not going to matter. It doesn't matter
It
what he
doesn't.
says.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't
Exactly.
They're always going to find something.
I mean, this is
always
the kind of
degrade him.
stuff
Right.
that infuriates the four of us and
Yes.
why we
Yep.
got together and we're doing what we're doing right now
Yep.
because we are so mad
And
so
sick of
ticked
it.
off
Yes.
at you liberal people
Yes.
because all you want to do is constantly, day after day,
Day.
hour, minute after minute,
Yep.
bash our president,
That's
and
right.
we're sick of
We're
it.
tired of it, and there is millions of other people that are just as sick of it as
Yep.
we are.
And it's no different. It's no different than whenever the whole Charlottesville thing. Everybody, I think, remembers the whole Charlottesville thing, right?
Yep. Yep.
All of us
Oh, yeah.
remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I mean, my God, that's even being brought up in the news.
Yeah.
And that was back in, what was it, last year that happened? And I mean, they wanted to call him a white supremacist.
Yep.
They wanted to call him, he was, a sympathizer of the KKK, and we all know that is not the case.
Nope.
He's called himself a nationalist. Well, if you don't know the definition of
Look it up.
nationalist,
Look
you
it
need
up.
to look it up.
Yep.
I consider myself one.
So
That
do
doesn't
I.
consider. I'm not a racist and I'm not a bigot. Okay.
right.
Well, but that's
I'm
the only leverage they have because they consider liberal their Democratic Party to be the culture, the blend of all cultures. Yet Republican is all white, all conservative,
Oh, yeah.
even Christian, and
Old
so
white
we
men.
get this thing. But yet, even Candace Owens ousted them, saying, you're sitting here coming against your own people because we're sitting here telling you the truth.
Right.
And
Right.
it's just so hilarious because I'm like, when are people going to wake up?
Exactly.
When are people going to see beyond their BS?
Exactly.
Because
Well,
I'm
and-
tired of it, quite frankly.
And the thing is, he specifically said in the Charlottesville city, he said, racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK,
Yep.
neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. Those who spread violence in the name of bigotry strike at the very core of America. And then, so I mean, how much clearer can he make it? I ask you that.
It's not enough.
I mean,
It's
come
not
on,
enough.
people.
It is not enough for the liberal. It's not enough for the liberal media. It's not enough for CNN. It's not enough for any of them. It's
Right.
not Democrats.
Trump could end world hunger and create world peace, and it still wouldn't be enough.
No, right.
It doesn't matter.
I kind of just sit back most of the time when everything is kind of going crazy, and I watch you guys, and it's because you guys have all the real intelligent stuff that I don't carry. I look at it like they point at him nonstop.
Yeah.
They do.
They point at
They
him.
do.
They point at him. They point at. Well, you know what? They pointed at Jesus Christ too.
That's right.
Exactly.
And guess
Yeah.
what? President Trump, you're in good company. if you
That's
get-
right.
Exactly.
That's
Amen.
right.
And I'll tell you really quick, I just want to point out something just really, really quickly before we have to close this segment. The Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, now that this happened in her country, okay, now keep in mind, the guy that did this, his name is Brenton Tarrant. He was Australian national,
Yep.
okay? This happened in New Zealand, two totally different countries. Okay, now she's called for the banning of semi-automatic
Automatic
weapons.
weapons.
Now, let me explain something to you just really, really quickly. She is part of the Labor Party, okay? I'm going to break this down for you as quickly as I possibly can. The Labor Party, people, is the same thing as a Democratic Socialist Party.
Yep.
Okay? She has
Fantastic.
considered herself a Democratic Socialist.
Yes.
She is also an agnostic. She is a progressive. She is a feminist. Now,
Sound familiar yet?
she did all of this within 24 hours.
Yeah.
If you get on Twitter or Facebook, you see all these people going, wow, amazing. Something, this horrific happens in New Zealand, and then the Prime Minister steps up and she can do this within 24 hours. Yeah, you bet your butt she can,
Yep.
because of who she is and the party she represents. So I'm telling you, people,
Yep.
if you value your 2A rights and you value your gun rights,
That's right.
you better get registered to vote. You better get out there to vote.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't want this country turning into a democratic socialist country,
Yeah.
and you don't want what's going on in New Zealand because of some horrible act
Well,
that
Omar's
happened.
already requesting for the guns because of what happened in New Zealand.
Her, Rashida Tlaib,
Yep.
and
It's
AOC
ridiculous.
they all consider themselves democratic socialists.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And they are all wanting bans of guns. So if you don't want that kind of garbage in our country, then you better stand up and you better say enough's enough. We're just not going to take it.
We're gonna be back. The next segment, we're gonna be still talking about this probably.
Yes. Well, remember, Saturday, March on the Arch. Come out and join us.
Yes.
It's for a good cause.
Yep.
And bring your comfy shoes. We'll
Yep.
be back.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.